Hello.
Hello. Drinking that water.
Oh, you can see me just sucking down the water.
Yes.
As you have, Chaos, I have had kind of a sore throat of the last couple days.
I think we both caught the bug.
And one of the odd things is that whenever I get a sore throat, it, lowers my entire vocal range by a couple of steps.
So you're like, yes, let's do this.
All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, yes, baritone.
Oh, yeah. So, we are going to have ZVT.
Yeah.
King Sejong Station.
Sejong.
So, should be good. Gosh, saw lots of TVCs on this map. Cross your fingers, hope for Nidus. That's all I can say.
Here we go for Nidus.
Yes. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to game number 2 of tonight's Top Dog League series. We've got Deadly Gaming going up against Team Liquid Strat. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner in the purple trunks. For Team Liquid Strat, it is going to be Jowj.
Love it. And in the bottom right-hand corner, for Team Deadly Gaming, we have Epic.
Because he is epic. Not
There was
sure
many map pings that threw me off.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like, what in the world? That's probably Minkus being like, dude, what are you doing? Anyways.
Classic Minkus.
Yes, Minkus is the stand-in manager for Deadly Gaming, as his wonderful manager cannot seem to stay in game, as we experienced last game.
Yes, so in order to cut down on the lags, as noted, we offered up our sacrifice, and that should be good enough. So yeah, what do you think with this map and the somewhat very exposed natural?
I don't know. I think TVZ on this map, from what I've experienced, a lot of 2-base timings tend to be the favored. You do see some games that go into the later stages. Reapers are pretty good on this map, as there's that nice little cavity on the lower left-hand side of Jowj space. I don't know how to make that plural or whatever, but yeah. Jowjesses? Yeah. So, nice little access point for Reapers to get in. Very easy to get a nice scout off, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a Reaper opening as the gas is finished. And he has been mining that for a little bit of time, and the first Reaper is on the way. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Chaos. Looking good. Right on with your predictions. OP Chaos right now.
So, yeah. So, gas, relatively early gas going down for Jowj. Not going to be seeing that very mineral-heavy Zerg playstyle, which I'd say is pretty typical, especially on this map. It gives you a little bit more. The speedlings give you a little bit more flexibility and map presence. And once you get into that stage, you know, depending on how early your opponent goes for Hellions, obviously it gives you the flexibility to switch over to Roaches to deal with that. And yeah, so overall, pretty standard stuff going on.
Yeah, no big deal. And we see the Reaper is going to poke in for Epic. See what he can find out. And he's going to see pretty much what you would expect. Maybe take a look at that gas and give it a click or two. And that's about the extent of it. But meantime, he's just going to waste some APM playing the little Zergling tag.
Yep. Rocking at around 200, 250 to 300 each. Pretty big range there.
Yeah.
And yeah, with this queen popping out, I'd say this Reaper's probably going to go ahead and maybe poke in here, try and get a little bit more damage done. But
we'll have to see if he hops up into Lings. That'll be bad news, Bears. But no, it looks like he's content. Not even to scout the main base, at least not yet.
Yeah, so second Reaper coming to follow up. Starting to... Not going to go for that third Reaper, as we don't see that in the production. So he's going to have a little bit more flexibility, potentially, to jump on into the main and get a little bit of scouting done. But overall, just being a nuisance at this point. You know, waiting for the queen or maybe a handful of lings to get a little unexposed, so we can get some more damage done. Ooh, we're getting some pokes off on the drones.
Yeah, it's just generally being annoying. Reapers are basically the Terran Zergling, if you will. They just like to, poke around real fast like. Never let you forget that they're there.
So yeah, pretty typical transition coming out of Epic, actually going for a really fast third. I do like this move because it gives him a little bit more flexibility as far as, obviously he can leave that command center in to just make some SCVs and help saturate his natural a little bit faster, and then also gives him the opportunity to take that third whenever he so desires. So overall, pretty decent investment. As we do have the Hellions coming out, he'll probably start to push out with those a little bit once he gets up. Probably a couple more.
Yeah, he may head out now, and it looks like he will. Again, just to kind of poke around, see what he can figure out. Not a whole lot of metagame breaking stuff going on in the early games, so as expected.
Yeah, and basically at this point, Jowj is just, happily droning up. Wow, 31 drones in his natural? What? Interesting.
I'm not a pro, but that seems like too many.
Yeah, well, I think he's just getting him prepared for a big drone transfer once his third finishes. Obviously, with that third being up, he's going to try and bait out some of these units, and obviously doing a fairly decent amount of job walling in. Hellion's getting a little bit of damage done. Jowj just definitely needs to be a little bit careful not to lose too many of these queens.
Yeah, Epic doing a real nice job here. He's going to be able to take out a lot, maybe the queens. If he can get the spine crawler, I mean, that'll go down before too much damage. Oh, a little bit tough there. And he does decide to go ahead and back off.
Yeah, I think, Jowj actually timed that spine crawler going down pretty well. Obviously, it's got not terribly much health, but it's definitely got enough to do at least a handful more pokes with all these units down here. So...
Yeah, and he did fix the drones there, so only got 20 going at a time now with those gas Kaisers, so able to even that up just a little bit. No big transfer yet, but we shall see as Epic starts quite the wall off he's got going on there, so he's going to sit back and be content here for a little while.
Yeah, it does look like he's going to try and poke in once again, maybe get a little... Ooh, might catch one of these queens. Ooh, nice transfuse going down. Just barely didn't catch that queen off guard.
Yeah, nice little work there. Keep that APM high. And yeah, he's really just content to get a pretty decently early 1-1. Not terribly, but, working that up and now finally flying third base over. And all of a sudden, 3 more barracks. He's just going up to everything you would expect Terran to get.
Yeah, I mean, pretty typical transition to finally, round out all of your production, get things rolling. Obviously, medevacs are now on the way. I feel like those are maybe a little bit behind, but I think with all the micromanagement nonsense, that's probably why they're about 30 seconds off, I would say.
Yeah, and he's going a little, pretty heavy Marine. Only 1 Marauder in the mix thus far, but of course that can change. So he's totally content, it seems, to just small pokes and sit back and say, all right, maybe my macro is going to be better than your macro, so... let's go toe-to-toe there, Buster, and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, Epic's been doing a good job of trying to definitely keep himself present on the map. He's going to go in and actually scout this 4th base, which is actually going to be a nice little scout for him, as he is moving out with all of his Marines. Those should show up in a fair amount of time. Now, we do have some Banelings morphing in. We'll have to see whether or not those will... actually, those should time up perfectly with the Baneling speed.
Yep, we'll have to see here. Oh, and he darts in to try to get him, but it looks like they retreat. Only able to pick off 1 and use a pretty valuable stim there. But at least he knows they're coming, and he should have seen, I believe, the speed. Oh, not quite done yet. There it goes. So didn't know that there was rolling Banelings. Now he does, and this could be a little bit of a rough spot depending on how these Banelings come down.
Banelings are going in and hitting all of the Hellbats. Definitely a decent trade, because obviously the Hellbats do a lot of damage to the Zerglings. Nice little pickup, and it looks like Epic will go ahead and pull away. Now, one thing that I do notice that we honestly really don't see a whole lot in ZVT is, Jowj is actually behind in supply.
Yes.
I mean,
he's kind of been floating around that for a little bit, but I mean, Terran, completely unabated Epic, has just been getting out all of his macro, and he's got everything running. with the addition of that, early third command center that went completely unpunished, he's got the minerals to do it, so he can just run everything full bore. And as we said, he's pumping out a lot of Marines, which, helps inflate the supply just a touch, but he's really pumping out a lot.
Now, I really, really like what Jowj is doing. He's actually sent Zerglings out to what would be like the 4th and 5th base, potentially, for Epic. So he's going to know exactly when those are taken, and actually getting a really, really nice scout off with the Overseer in the main.
It's going to be pretty good news, and it looks like just going to pick off some Zerglings at the tower. Everything's going to live there, and like we said, kind of Marine heavy, so he's kind of pre-splitting here. We'll have to see how everything works out, and if he can get this nice little 4th base pickoff here, that'd be great for him.
That would be absolutely epic for him. A couple Lings going in, trying to get some damage on the tower, just trying to gain that map presence again. Lings and Banelings coming in here, some nice splits going off. A couple Banelings going down to like 1 or 2 Marines, definitely not trading very well. Stim is going to go in, and some very nice splitting. And, with these Marines on the high ground, it's just going to be very, very difficult for Jowj actually engage this.
Yeah, I mean, such beautiful positions. So he's got Marines all over the high ground so he can retreat past those. And on the back end, he parked all of his Hellbats right on the ramp. I mean, it's going to be nearly impossible to just run a whole bunch of things up there. And looks like he traded pretty well, and they're going to continue to push. He really wants his 4th base to go down, and it looks like it will.
Yeah, and with this many Marine reinforcements, I think that Jowj is definitely going to be in a very, very tight spot. A lot of things just dying left and right. The Mutalisk falling very, very rapidly as well. Marauder's taking a lot of those Baneling hits, and yeah, Epic just appears to have way too much. Going in here, getting a lot of really good damage done. GG well played is called, and Epic taking game number 2. Very, very nice.